I don't know. But so speaking of that, you got the Mavic. You got the
Yes.
DJI Mavic. I've got one, but I'm part of that. I've ordered one, let's say that. I'm part of the legions of hundreds of thousands of people that ordered one but aren't getting them for whatever inexplicable reason. You got yours for some reason. How do you like it? Do you love it? You hate it? What's good? What's the
So
bad?
far so good. I mean, I remember flying your Phantom 3 in Mexico a little bit. That was my first, and I went crazy. I was like, oh my god, this thing is incredible. The footage that you shot from above of places that I knew very well, all of a sudden seeing everything from above, I went crazy. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But for photography, even though the camera for photography is not the best,
Yeah.
but the video part and how stable the video is, it's incredible. We were able to get to places thanks to your drone that we could not have gotten
Right?
in different
Yeah.
ways. Yeah. So I was almost convinced, but then I was thinking, oh, because I remember your backpack. I was like, oh, like I cannot have something like that on my
Where is it?
back
Yeah.
when
Well,
I
let me get it. I got
travel,
to show you.
through
You
Mexico
gotta
and
see
like
this
in the
backpack.
jungle. So that was a big deal for me. It's
Yeah,
not
there it
humongous,
is.
but this is like,
So if you're watching this, I got to show you. If you're watching this, and we laugh at it now because now we've seen the Mavic, but this was state of the art just a couple months ago.
yeah,
So
and
this is the back.
it's a
This
beautiful bag, by the way.
it's beautiful. I love this thing. This is
Yeah.
this is what I've traveled all over the place with, all over the world with. It's a think tank airport helipack is what it's called.
Yeah.
And this is what I have to carry my Phantom in, right?
And cameras too, because you can fit your mirrorless camera.
Oh
in there
yeah,
and
I could fit
an iPad.
everything I need can fit in here. And right now, I don't know if you can see that. See what's in there? So
Yeah.
there's the Phantom down here, and you laugh at it now because you're
No.
this felt Mavic owner. But here's the Phantom down here, and then here's the controller and 3 batteries, and then I have a charger that if I'm traveling somewhere goes in here. There's blades in the top section right there,
Yeah.
extra blades. There's an iPad Mini in this thing, and assorted cables and shades and all that stuff. So this, it's interesting how
But you
this
see,
changes.
size-wise, I can fit, a drone, 2 mirrorless cameras, 4 lenses, the remote for the drone, an iPad, mini iPad, but even a full-size iPad, all in here. And basically, the top compartment, it's just the Mavic drone.
And that top
And
compartment
this
is
is
detachable, right?
yes, in this particular bag is detachable, but if you can see, you can't even see it. It's kind of, and there's still an empty pocket basically. Let
Yeah.
me just remove this thing, so you can see like a little bit of the Mavic
Yeah, there it
here and the
is. I see
remote.
that little alien
Yeah.
in there. Yeah.
And there's still like a room here where I could fit like my Sony A6000, for instance, with a pancake lane.
You could literally fit that bag inside this bag.
Yeah.
And still have a lot of room to spare. So yeah, so I think for me, it changes the dynamic of when you can bring a drone with you. So with this kit, which is an awesome kit, you can make movies, and which we've done. We've done amazing stuff with this kit.
Amazing footage. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do amazing stuff with that, but you have to be cognizant of what you're going to do before you hit the road.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, am I going to shoot? Okay, yeah. Do I have my drone? The battery's charged, all that stuff. Got to bring the drone bag, and then if you're traveling, it changes that dynamic as well because you don't want to check this, so you have to carry it on, so it counts as one of your carry-ons.
Yeah.
And it just changes everything. It changes how you pack. It changes what when you shoot, how you shoot, all that. With the Mavic, it's tiny, right? So the controller could literally go in your pocket. The aircraft
incredible,
itself goes in a slot inside of your existing camera bag, and you can rock and roll, right?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. In that bag, I can also fit my Osmo Mobile. So on top of the 2 mirrorless cameras, the 4 lenses, but there's also like on the side, on the right side, I can stick my Osmo Mobile, which works with the phone. So like
we were
2
talking
video
about
devices.
before. I think we were talking about while you were still waiting on your Mavic to show up. One of the features of that thing is that it has a 4-mile range.
Yes.
So what is that? 7 kilometers? I don't know. So 4 miles.
Yeah, it's about 7.5. Yeah.
Yeah. So that thing can, which is very far, right? That's very far, especially when you consider it's something that fits in the palm of your hand. So I had a couple questions. So I questioned DJI on that feature. Now, granted, the FAA only has jurisdiction in the United States, but within the United States, the FAA says the rule is it has to be line of sight. You have to be able to see the aircraft that you're flying in order to be in compliance with FAA rules. I can't see 4 miles. I don't know if I can see a mile, and if
as a
it's something.
newbie, like I just spend money on this thing. I have sweaty palms every time this thing takes off. I can never like lose sight. I will be like, oh my god. But I can see how like every day you get used to go a little further, push it a little, and then maybe you start doing.
Yeah, so I wonder
that we did in
at that,
Mexico
and then
together.
then I started thinking, when they did the announcement, they also announced, I don't know if they're shipping yet, but they announced those VR goggles that you can wear and fly and basically be in the Mavic flying around. Now that kind of changes the dynamic a little bit. Flying around just looking through the camera remotely kind of feels kind of, like why? Well, why would you want to fly
The
4 miles away?
immersive experience of.
Yeah, but if you're immersed in it and you feel like you're in the cockpit flying that thing around and racing and then I could see where the 4 mile thing might come into play, because you might say, well, hey, I want to go fly in the Grand Canyon, and now you could go fly. Your range is 4 miles around the desert that is the Grand Canyon with a friend. You could both fly together. So I see that, but yeah, like I'm like you in normal. Even with my Phantom, I've flown the Phantom a lot. I got a lot of hours in the air
In
on
Mexico,
that thing.
you flew like far. I remember a couple of times. I was
Yes.
like, we were like, where?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but even now, I'm still nervous though. Like every time I put that thing in the air, even if I'm just flying in the park across the street from my house, I'm not nervous because I have confidence, but I still have that feeling of, am I breaking any laws?
there's
If I
that.
lose it, is it going to go down and crash into somebody's stroller?
Or in the water.
Or in the water and lose it. There's always that in your gut. You always get butterflies when you fly the drones.
Did you get the insurance? I forgot to do it, and you have 48 hours after purchasing it. If you try to activate your insurance after 48 hours, you cannot do it because they say after.
I work without a net here. I don't need any insurance.
You're an experienced pilot.
What's $1,200? Oh, yeah, right.
Actually, the thing that you would lose is only 700 and something, right? Because you would have your controller and the extra battery. So what would go down is actually replaceable with $750. I think.
Oh, is that all? It's just just enough money to
It's better than 1,200 though. It's better 750 than 1,200.
I don't know,
But insurance is pretty good. You can get 2 replacements. The first one costs $99. The second $129. As long as you don't bring back a wet system. So if it falls in the water, bye-bye. If you lose it, bye-bye. But anything else, they just send you a new one.
So if someone, like, you fly it and land it in traffic and someone rolls over it with their truck, you could go scrape up the pieces and send it back.
Yes, you just give it back and say, hey, this happened, give me one. They give you up to 2. And then after the second one, that's
not bad. That's not bad.
I'll be careful with this one.
Yeah, be careful. This is you're a brand new drone owner. You have to be.
And it's been so windy in New York every day. The windiest I experienced since.
Isn't it great? I mean, it was windy in Mexico. Isn't it great how these things they fight the wind to keep their positioning?
Yeah.